My name is Velez. I belong to a ministry called Missionaries of Jesus. Our home base is in New York City, United States, and we work for the Archdiocese of New York. Our spiritual director is Bishop Josue Iriondo. He's auxiliary bishop, and he's also the director of the Charismatic Renewal for New York State. And I'm second generation of ministry. My parents were the founders of this ministry. And my brothers, my siblings, and I, and my cousins, well, we all were born into the ministry. And there were a whole army of people have followed. But we're full-time serving the Lord. We have our own center where we form lay preachers, and in our catechism, especially in the faith message. And every weekend we're in a different country, trying to live the message of Jesus Christ to go around the world, proclaiming His word.
Let me ask you, Neil, there's something a bit more special, though, about your coming into this missionary work. Would you like to tell us about your miraculous healing?
Well, I was born sick. I think my whole life was, it's a whole medical history. My mother, she was told that I was going to be born sick and that it was better for her to have an abortion because her life was at risk if she decided to give me an opportunity to live. But as a good Catholic, she was against abortion, and she decided to risk her own life to give me an opportunity to live. But as the doctor said, I was going to come out sick. I was born sick. I had a deformed heart. My whole body was deformed. I was separated from my mother for about 9 to 10 months. And a whole history of medical problems started from there. I used to wear a brace to sustain my body. I had convulsions. I had meningitis. With my heart, not even a transplant could save me. It was a deformed heart. My valves were all messed up. And bad circulation, tumors started forming all over my body. I had internal bleeding. Because of those tumors, I lost my eyesight. I had a tumor, one of those tumors in my head. I lost my eyesight. I became blind. And then I had a crisis, and two specialists, one from California and from Texas, came just to tell me that they couldn't do nothing for me, that I only had 3 months to live.
How old were you then?
I was 17, very young.
So you hadn't had much of a life before that?
No, not really at all. I've been sick all my life in hospitals, but it just got worse. And then I got to that point where I couldn't see. And then once I had a crisis, and in that crisis I was in intensive care, and I was blind, and a word that I had read in the Bible kept coming to my thoughts, and it used to bother me. It was bothering me, that verse, because of what it said. And then I would try to think of something else, but then the verse would come to my thoughts again. And that verse is in 1 Peter 2:24. It says the Bible says that through His stripes we were healed.
I knew you were going to say that.
And it was upsetting me because I noticed it was talking to me in a past tense. Not that I was going to receive healing or expect healing, but that I was healed 2,000 years ago on a cross. I understood the theology of it. I understood that through Christ, what we had lost, now we had gained again. We had access to God. Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice. I understood all the theology from that verse, but for some reason I felt it was talking towards my healing also, my personal healing. It was telling me that I was healed also. That's what I felt. And I got so upset in that moment, and I tried to think of other things, but then the verse would come again, And it came to the moment that I just started arguing with God. And I started telling God, well, all of this is a lie, or I don't really know you. And at that moment, I heard, or I can say heard, or felt a voice that told me, you don't know me. And then if I was upset, I got really angry now, because I'm second generation of a ministry. I know no other life but this. My mother, father, uncles, they were missionaries. They used to take us to evangelize. Wherever we felt tired, they would put a coat on the floor and we would sleep there. So at age 12, despite of all my circumstances, I was already proclaiming and talking about this God. Youth retreats, mass. I went to Catholic schools. I was formed in Catholic ministry life. And now this voice was telling me that I didn't know him. And I said, I answered back, I've had no youth because of all of this. And the voice again told me, you don't know me. And I understood what it was trying to tell me. I thought I knew him in my experience and my studies and my walk. But sometimes it's like the Bible says, we sometimes talk about things that we don't know or understand.